Hello friends. In our last lecture we talked about how the gastrulation take place. So after gastrulation the most important thing is to organize an embryo. So how the embryo is going to be organized, how it is directed to start its development, all these things we are going to discuss in this video. So let's have a revision of what we learned into the last lecture. So this is the sperm entry point. After sperm entry there is a this cortical rotation. Remember we are revising this slide because this is one of the most important aspect or procedure which is essential for the upcoming event, means in a cascade of events or the ultimate molecular mechanism which is responsible for embryonic induction, and that's why this cortical rotation is very important. So just keep in your mind that this is the sperm entry point, and from this sperm entry point this cortical rotation take place by 30-degree anti-clockwise. Just keep in your mind so what is the significance, why it is essential, we are going to talk about it later on. So the cleavage start, then there is formation of blastula, then this is morula, and then this fluid filled cavity blastocele, we call it as blastula. So this is fed map. Fed map is a embryonic layout, and it will tell us that what are the type of cells they are going to be from this particular area, means either animal pole or vegetal pole. So thereafter there is initiation of gastrulation, and initiation of gastrulation itself is a very important event directing the development. So ultimately the initiation of gastrulation starts the axis formation in vertebrates. Here we talk about the amphibians. So amphibians, um, they are a little bit different from the widely studied Drosophila. So in Drosophila they represent a localized determinant. It means that the type of cells present here, okay, they will define how the axis is going to be formed, or the development is not dependent on any other factor. But in contrast to this, the amphibian axis formation is an example of regulative development. It means that the different interactions between the neighboring cells, they played a very important role, and these interactions we call them as inductions. So we are going to talk about the inductions in the upcoming slides. So all this fantastic work started by the Hans Spemann and Heil Mangold that changed the entire understanding of the axis specification in animals. The experiment that begins with the research on newts, in which Spemann found that whenever he take a fertilized newt egg and tied it with baby's hair here, and causing the all nuclei to push on one side. So eventually after some division, after some cleavage division here, nearly at a 16 cell stage, a single nuclei migrated or simply escaped from this lasso or this constriction, and it migrated into another half. So the cleavage also began on this side, and eventually whenever he more tightly pull this here so that the constriction or the complete separation of these two halls occur there, and ultimately they separated from each other, and there is complete development of embryo. Just the difference is that the one which is having more number of cells, it is a little bit older than the another one. So it indicates or the Spearman concluded from this experiment that the amphibian nuclei, the early amphibian nuclei, they are genetically identical, and each blastomere is capable of giving rise to the entire organism. Means every cell is having that potential. So when he performed the similar experiment, so whatsoever we just observe is this one. So when he take the newt egg, he constrict it from here, so there is formation of two organism. But when he repeated the same experiment except the plane, means which was the plane of that constriction was this, and in the next experiment he only take it to the right angle to the first one, or the perpendicular to the first one. So he found completely different results here, in which one normal organism is found and one a small only the ball of cells is found at. So why these two experiments give the different results? And the possibility might be in the separation or the some unequal distribution of some cytoplasmic substances must be there, and that hypothesis leads to think about this area. This area is gray crescent. So in the first experiment, when he make a lasso here, the constriction here, in both these halves, the some area of gray crescent was there. But in another experiment, in the next experiment, when the plane of that constriction was longitudinal to the first one, then there is unequal distribution of this gray crescent. So might be gray crescent is responsible for the initiation of animal development, and that leads to thinking about its potential. Spearman demonstrated that the early gastrula cells are uncommitted, means their fate is not fixed, but that of the late gastrula, the fate is fixed or it's somewhat determined. So while demonstrating this, he transferred the pieces of gastrula in between the two different species gastrula. So he found that whenever he transferred this presumptive neural ectoderm, presumptive means futuristic, these cells are not at present these are not the neural ectoderm cells, but they are going to be form the neural ectoderm cells. So when he transferred these cells to another gastrula, he found that though these cells are going to form what is expected, that these cells should form neural ectoderm, but when they transferred to this gastrula in another region, so these local cells instruct them that you have to develop into the epidermal cells. So thus the early nude gastrula cells which are not yet committed, means their fate is not fixed, it can be changed, that is called as conditional specification or conditional development. It can be changed, and all these things they are happening during the early gastrula. But in the late gastrula, you can see the difference between these two diagrams. Here just the gastrulation is initiated, and here the argenteron has quite enlarged here. It means this is a late gastrula. So here again they transfer the same type of cells. So what is expected? So this neural ectoderm should behave as a epidermis here, just like this, but it won't happen. Now this neural ectoderm, it carry its own potential, or it carry its identity, and it form the neural plate tissue. So here the fate is fixed, it is not going to be changed whether it is transferred to any area, and this is called as autonomous development, means it is not dependent on any other. So just keep in your mind that suppose a small kid is there, okay, just a 5 to 6 month kid is there, and it belongs to a particular community. So if it doesn't matter to which home you are transferring it, you can transfer it to a Punjabi, to a Gujarati, to a Kannada. So ultimately within 1 or 2 years it is going to learn that language fluently. Get it? But in the late, means if you already know your mother tongue, means it is defined just like that somebody are Hindi, Marathi, English, and something else. So in that time it is quite difficult for that kid to learn a new language, and due to that it is not going to accept that new fate, and it preserve its own identity. So we call it as the autonomous type of development. So this experiment tell us that in earlier gastrula the cell fate is not fixed, okay. So when the Spemann and Mangold, now Mangold come in picture. So when they transplanted the dorsal blastopore lip, remember this is a very important area where this dorsal blastopore lip. So this is the blastopore, this area, and it is guarded by this fold. So this is called as the dorsal blastopore lip, and this one is the ventral lip. So what they do, they cut this area here. In this picture it is more closely shown. So they cut this area from one frog and transfer it to another gastrula. So that gastrula is having its own dorsal blastopore lip, and now it get one extra dorsal blastopore lip. So what we expect here as per the earlier experiment, so this should develop into another type of cells, okay. But see what happened, they found that gastrula has developed two neural tubes here, okay. And remember, the neural tube is the first structure appear in the gastrula or during the development that initiate, that instruct the development, okay. And that is the indication that this gastrula has started developing two embryos. Get it? And later on this gastrula develop into such two attached newts. Get it? So what is the moral of story? The moral of story is that the dorsal blastopore lip is the region in embryo, is the only region in the that gastrula which is having a fixed fate. That fate is not going to be changed, never. Okay, and that fate is, that is the point from where the gastrulation start. Doesn't matter where it is. If you transplant one more dorsal blastopore lip here, it will start the development from this point. Get it? So the dorsal blastopore lip is very important area, and it act as a organizer. Remember, up till now, means even at the blastula stage, the fate is not clear. So cells, they are only increasing in number, nothing is happening there. Okay, but as soon as this dorsal blastopore lip is formed, that direct the cells that you have to internalize yourself, you have to start the gastrulation, and unless and until the gastrulation is started, there is no formation of neural tube, there is no formation of the body axis, and that's why this dorsal blastopore lip is called as organizer of embryo. Without organizer, no event can be taken place smoothly, and same thing is applied to here. So what are the functions of this organizer? Remember, it is the self differentiated into the dorsal mesoderm. It is going to form the notochord. So it dorsalizes the surrounding mesoderm into the paraxial mesoderm. Paraxial means the notochord forming mesoderm. So it dorsalizes embryo, means it define the dorsal axis, means the point here. This one is the animal pole, this one is the vegetal pole, and the point where dorsal blastopore lip is formed, that is going to be the dorsal part of that embryo. If this one is the dorsal, ultimately this one is going to be the ventral. So, and that's why it dorsalizes the embryo. Then it induces the formation of neural tube. Yes, it started the neural tube formation, and ultimately it initiates the gastrulation. So how it becomes so special?